When I was 12 years old, I wanted to be many things. I wanted to be a lizard trainer. I thought that was a real thing. I wanted to be a romance novelist, and I wanted to be Rob Lowe's girlfriend. But I was a girl with the last name of Weiner. And it's a pretty character-building last name. And I think it somehow destined me in life to become a confidence expert. But when I was 12, I just really wanted to be liked. I wanted you to think I was pretty. I equated beauty with popularity and confidence, right? And while I was trying really hard to make some waterfall bangs happen in this picture, I also was privately struggling with significant self-doubt. It was 1986. We had 4 channels compared to the thousands that we have today, but I was a total TV junkie. I was always looking for myself in the media that I was consuming. I wanted to see stories about girls who looked like me, but I didn't see a whole lot of ethnically ambiguous looking girls. But I did find this show. You remember? Yeah, I was sassy like Tootie, and I was curvy like Natalie, and I was brunette like Joe, so I found little pieces of me. But what I loved the most about this show was that the girls were confident. And actually, it was quite intoxicating for me at 12. I was very curious about confidence. I had a lot of questions. I wanted to know who has it, and how do we get it, and how do we keep it? And those questions would turn out to be really important for me because I would end up spending most of my teenage years struggling with eating disorders and low self-confidence. And it was that inspired me to become the social entrepreneur that I am today, working in the fields of women, girls, and confidence. I've been a self-esteem educator for 20 years. I started my work as an activist, and then I took my work from the classroom to the boardroom, where I now work with global companies to help them better represent the authentic lives of girls today. There's no better time for us to be having this conversation right now. We're at an unprecedented moment in culture where we are talking both privately and publicly about the role that self-esteem and confidence plays in young girls' lives. And I am thrilled that this conversation has finally become so public and so mainstream, yet I fear that we might be doing some of it wrong. When we talk about confidence, we often talk about it as something we need to get or raise or boost, like it's some deflated tire that needs some air. But confidence isn't something you can hold or touch or buy or own. It's not a destination in life, but it's a manner of traveling. And how you get there is really important, and how you get there is with self-discovery, right? Self-discovery is the key missing ingredient in this conversation about confidence. We don't talk a lot about self-discovery, and probably because it's suffering from a little bit of an identity crisis, because when you Google confidence, these are the images that come up. There's a lot of leaping. There's a lot of leaping. There's a lot of jumping. There's a lot of fist thrust in the air. And I could be the most confident girl in the world, but I am not jumping from boulder to boulder. So I think sometimes we've created these larger-than-life images of what it looks like and feels like to be confident. And I think sometimes that can be misleading and even confusing for the girls that I work with. In fact, the girls that I work with will tell me when they hear the word confidence, they actually think about the word perfection. And they think if I was just confident enough, then I would have the perfect grades and the perfect body and the perfect boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. And I can really relate to that because I've been working in this field for 2 decades and I still find myself saying, if only I was more confident, then all of my dreams would be coming true. And I don't mean to be cynical, those are great thoughts to have because they contain a kernel of truth, but they don't contain the whole truth. And I fear that we've kind of oversimplified the idea of confidence to the point that we actually betray the hard work it takes to get there. So when you Google self-discovery, this is what comes up. It's like windy roads. And actually, it's probably more fitting to what self-discovery really delivers, which is it's a journey, and it's a process, and it takes time, which is why it's really hard to wrap up in one workshop or a 30-second soundbite or even a TED Talk. I'm going to do my best. Because there's 2 key areas I would love to see us shake up when we talk about confidence. The first one is beauty. We spend an amazing amount of time in this culture talking about physical beauty with women and girls. It's dizzying. And we often equate physical beauty with confidence. And to top that off, in the last year or two, we've had a lot of go girl marketing messages aimed our way with empowering phrases like, love your body, own your body, love your body. And I don't even know what that means anymore. Right? Sometimes I worry again that we've simplified the message and it ends up what I call SFSN. It sounds fabulous and it signifies nothing. I don't know what to do with all of the messages coming my way. Just show of hands or clap. Where are my type A people in the audience? Hello, my people. So I can be so type A that I will really work hard to love myself, and then I will beat myself up when I do not love myself. And I feel depressed when I don't want to make out with every wrinkle and dimple and pimple, right? It's confusing, it's overwhelming, and oftentimes it can be really frustrating to hear how important confidence is and not be given a roadmap on how to get there. And self-discovery is that roadmap. We have to pay attention to beauty and our relationship with beauty for this reason, because girls do suffer the consequences. When they consume myopic and stereotypical images, especially in media, there is an impact and result in their everyday life. We know from research that 6 out of 10 girls will stop doing something they love because of how they feel about the way they look. So that's 60% of girls who may not raise their hand in class because they don't want you to look at them, who may not try out for the swim team because they don't like the way their thighs look in their bathing suit, who may not run for student government, and who may not tell their parents when something's wrong with them physically to go to the doctor, all because of appearance-related anxiety. So we should do something about that. But we won't only get there by talking about physical beauty or the media. So the media in my career, it's changed dramatically, right? In all of our lives, it's changed dramatically, especially in the last 20 years. We are all the media now. And the media has incredible impact. You can tell from my first story at 12. I mean, the media can have an enormous effect on a girl's self-confidence. But now that we are all the media, and we sit on top of media empires, anybody in here on social media, you make decisions every day that writers, producers, directors, creators make. You create content and you distribute it to an audience every single day with what we share, with what we post, with what we consume. We contribute to the culture that we want to see change. So as editors of our own media empires comes great responsibility and great opportunity. So should we be critical of media messages? Yes. And should we teach ourselves and our families media literacy? Yes. But the media doesn't raise our families. We do. And the media isn't responsible for your level of self-awareness. We are. So we have a chance to shift the very culture we'd like to see change, but we have to remember that what gets us there is people helping other people. And so I want to leave you with this. Self-discovery is messy, and there is no time limit for personal growth. And my journey and your journey on the way to confidence is going to look very different. So let's change the way we talk about confidence, and let's add in more about the messiness and the journey of self-discovery. What would that actually sound like? What would our conversations with our friends and our families and our loved ones actually sound like? This is what I would love to see. Let's talk about the price that we pay for really being ourselves, because sometimes there is a price. And let's talk about the devastating heartbreak of relationships that don't work. And let's talk about how life rewards you many times when you choose to be brave. And let's talk about how isolating it is to not see your face reflected back in the media that you consume. And let's talk about how at every point in someone's life, beauty fades at various ages and stages and life cycles. Because beauty isn't a currency to take to the bank, but character is. And let's talk about how awesome it feels to actually learn to love your own company, and how scary it is to actually be vulnerable in your relationships. And let's talk about how self-esteem is a value that you place on your standing in the world, and it's a world that you can create with a tool like self-discovery, and that is real power. That is more power than money or popularity or beauty will ever get you. So let's do this. Let's change the way we talk about confidence, and let's change the way we talk about learning to love ourselves, and let's say that it will take a lifetime, and it won't always be perfect, and it will likely be hard. but it will ultimately be worth it. Thank you. Thank you.